Story 11. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Read by Clarica. Sammie and Susie Littletail by Howard R. Garis. Story 11. Sammie's and Susie's Terrible Time. You may be sure the two Littletail children were very much frightened when they were floating down the stream behind Nurse Jane Fuzzy Wuzzy, with the boys on the bank throwing stones at them, and the dog barking as hard as he could bark. "Sick the dog in the water after them," called one boy. "Naw, this dog doesn't like water," said the boy who owned it. "We'll hit 'em with stones, and then poke 'em out with sticks." Oh, how Sammie and Susie shuddered when they heard those words! They did not know Jane Fuzzy Wuzzy was going to save them. The muskrat looked around to see how the children were swimming. "Don't be afraid," she called. But of course the boys could not understand what she said. The dog could, being an animal and understanding animal talk, but the dog couldn't tell the boys. "Don't be afraid," said the nurse. "Sammie, keep your head under more. Susie, strike out harder with your forepaws." The two bunny children did as they were told. Just then a stone came very close to Jane Fuzzy Wuzzy, and she went completely beneath the water. "The muskrat's gone!" cried a boy. "No," said another, "it can swim under water. But don't bother with the rabbits. They're little and their fur isn't much good. Kill the muskrat, for we can get 50 cents for the skin." "Oh, how mean boys are!" thought Susie Littletail. "To talk about selling poor Jane Fuzzy Wuzzy's skin! Aren't they terrible?" The boys now gave all their attention to throwing stones at the muskrat, but she was very wise, and kept under water as much as possible, so they could not hit her. They did not throw at Sammie or Susie. Presently Jane Fuzzy Wuzzy swam backward under water and came up near Sammie. She put her sharp nose close to his ear and whispered, "Down the stream a little way is a burrow where I used to live. The front door is under water, but if you hold your breath you can dive down, get in, and come up in the dry part. Then you can dig a way out in a field, and we can go home and escape the boys." Jane told the same thing to Susie, and pretty soon, when they came to the place, the two bunny children took a long breath and dived down under water. Jane told the same thing to Susie, and pretty soon Sammie and Susie took hold of the long tail of Jane Fuzzy Wuzzy to guide them in the dark, and, though it seemed a terrible thing not to breathe under water, the three suddenly found themselves in a little underground house, much like their own, where they could breathe again. "Now we are safe!" exclaimed the muskrat. "Just dig a back door, and you can get out." So Sammie and Susie did so, and pretty soon they found themselves in a nice field, some distance back from the water. They could see the boys and their dog still watching near the bank to catch Jane Fuzzy Wuzzy, and the boys never knew how the muskrat and the rabbit children escaped. "My, but that was exciting," said Sammie, when they were on their way home. "Indeed it was," agreed Susie. "I'm so frightened that I have almost forgotten how to swim." "It will all come back to you the next time you go in the water," said Jane Fuzzy Wuzzy. "But I must hurry home now, or dinner will be late." They got to the burrow without anything more happening. Mamma Littletail and Uncle Wiggily Longears were much alarmed when told about the narrow escape. "Those boys!" cried the old rabbit. "If I wasn't laid up with rheumatism I'd show them," and he snapped his teeth in quite a savage manner indeed, for a rabbit can get angry at times. After dinner Mamma Littletail asked Sammie and Susie to go to the cabbage field store for her, but as Sammie wanted to stay home and make a whistle out of a carrot, Susie went alone. As she was walking along under a big tree, she heard a noise in the branches, and, looking up, she saw a number of squirrels. One was the squirrel who had given her old nest to Mrs. Wren. The little gray chaps were running about, seemingly much excited over something. Presently they all scampered down, and Susie saw that they had their mouths full of nuts. They put them on the ground in a little heap, and then the little bunny girl noticed that there was, near by, an old stump, and it was set just like a table, with dried leaves for plates and the tops of acorns for cups. "What is going on here?" Susie asked the squirrel whom she knew. "I am giving a party in honor of having moved into my new nest," said the squirrel. "Wouldn't you like to come?" "Yes," said Susie very politely, "I would like very much to." "Then," said the squirrel, "hop up on the stump, and I will get an extra plate for you." Susie did so. It was the first party she had ever attended, but I can't tell you what happened until to morrow. End of Story 11.